Hello students, welcome to Pharmaceutics 1 Theory Lectures. Today we are going to discuss about Pharmaceutical Incompatibility, which is a Unit 4 of Pharmaceutics 1 for B.Pharmacy first year syllabus. Now these are the contents of the topic. We will see the definition, classification, types of incompatibilities like physical incompatibility, chemical, therapeutic examples. In this particular video, we will discuss in detail about physical incompatibilities. What is the definition of incompatibility? It is defined as mixing of two or more antagonistic substances which forms an undesirable product which may affect the safety, efficacy and appearance of the pharmaceutical product. What is incompatibility? When we are going to mix two or more antagonistic substances. When we are going to mix two or more antagonistic substances. This leads to the formation of an undesirable product. This affects the safety, efficacy and appearance of the product. Now this type of incompatibilities mainly may arise due to drug with mixing of another drug, or a drug when it is going to combine with some other additives or adjuvants, or because of dosage errors also. Now the classification. All these incompatibilities which arises in the formulations are classified into three types. They are classified into three types. What are the three types? Number 1, physical incompatibility. Number 2, chemical incompatibility. Number 3, therapeutic incompatibility. Now, let us discuss about the physical incompatibilities. Okay. Now, physical incompatibilities is an incompatibility where there is a change in the product. A physical change is seen and which is not acceptable. And why this particular change is due to? It is due to incompatibility, immiscibility, insolubility, because of precipitate formation, and may be due to liquefaction. As I said, physical incompatibility, there is a physical change is seen in the formulation which is not acceptable, and this change is due to immiscibility between the two substances with the vehicle that is present in the formulation, or because of insolubility, because of precipitate formation, and lastly due to liquefaction. Now, let us see in detail about physical incompatibility and how it can be corrected. So, the physical incompatibility is corrected by, number 1, by a change in the order of mixing. By using the process of emulsification, that is preparing an emulsion, by adding a suspending agent, by forming a suspension, or change in the form of the ingredients. You can even change the form. Instead of using a hydrous, use an anhydrous form, or change the ingredients, change in the form of the ingredient, or by addition or substitution or omission of any therapeutically inactive substance. This is how we can correct the physical incompatibility. Now let us discuss the first one. What is the first one? It is called as immiscibility. Immiscibility is because they are immiscible with each other. Say for example, when we mix oils with water, they are immiscible. How do we make them miscible? We are going to use simply the approach of emulsification. How we are doing? By using an emulsion. We are going to prepare an emulsion by using the concept of emulsification, where we are going to use an emulsifying agent. We are going to use an emulsifying agents. Okay, so here you can see the castor oil is immiscible with water, so it can be overcome by making an emulsion. Number 2. The second thing is because of insolubility. Now when do we say insoluble? When the drug is not soluble in the solvent. So we say it is due to the insolubility of drug in the solvent. Now how to overcome this? We can simply overcome this by adding a suspending agent. So this is what we have learned in suspensions, okay, which is a biphasic system where the drug is made to disperse by adding a suspending agent. Now when a suspending agent is added, what it will happen? It will increase the viscosity, which helps in uniform distribution of insoluble substances, which is nothing but the drug, for a longer time. Example you can see here, as in the case of phenacetin, caffeine you want to dispense along with orange syrup and water. So they are insoluble with each other in this particular solvent system. So you simply add a suspending agent, which is nothing but a compound powder of tragacanth or a mucilage of tragacanth. And the same approach you can use for other drugs which are insoluble like sulfur, antibiotics, corticosteroids, acetyl salicylic acid and phenacetin. Now, the next is because of precipitation. What is precipitation? Precipitation is nothing but a drug, when it is present in solution form, it is getting precipitated. Why it is getting precipitated? Because the addition of a solvent is done, which is causing the drug to precipitate. So we can simply say a drug in solution gets precipitated if the solvent in which it is insoluble is added to the solution. Say for example, here I have a drug which is soluble in acetone. It is completely and freely soluble in acetone. But to this system, if I am going to add an insoluble solvent in which the drug is insoluble like water, so that means I am adding some water here. Now when I add this water here, the drug is getting as a precipitate. It is coming as a precipitate. Okay. Now how to avoid this? What is the solution? Add suitable thickening agents or use some undiluted tincture. Tincture is the one which we are going to prepare with any of the solvent systems, or add tincture with syrup or aqueous solution. Example, okay, here you can see there is a drug tincture glycerin benzoin compound with glycerin and rose water. So add a thickening agent like glycerin. Now the next, liquefaction. What is liquefaction? Liquefaction means when low melting point solids are mixed, a liquid or soft mass is formed, and this particular soft mass which is formed, it is called as eutectic mixture. So when the low boiling melting point solids are mixed, their melting point decreases. Say for example, I have mixed camphor with phenol. So camphor has a separate melting point and the phenol has a separate melting point. When I mix these two, what is happening? The mixture melting point is completely reduced. Therefore, it is going to form a liquid or it forms a soft mucilage or a soft mass is formed. Okay. So how to avoid this? Use an adsorbent. Adsorbent is the one which can absorb your camphor and phenol or thymol or camphor whenever they are mixed. So make a simple powder of after mixing that and then administer. Example, you can see I want to dispense camphor with menthol along with ammonium chloride. But I know that when camphor and menthol are mixed, their melting point decreases. When the melting point decreases, it becomes a liquid or it becomes a soft mass. Therefore, you add light magnesium carbonate. So these are the references for following this particular topic. Now if you see in this particular topic, we have seen what is incompatibility, definition and in detail about physical incompatibility. Thank you.